August the 26th, 2023. As you're looking at the 5 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, and this is Sky Tower down in Florida also, but you've got winds that are sustained winds at 30 miles per hour. But notice the movement, guys. It's stationary. In other words, it's not moving. Kind of the worst case scenario because it's now in warmer waters, and if it were to move quickly, and it would have a lot less time to strengthen. You know what I'm talking about. Sitting there, feeding on all that fuel that's in the Gulf itself. But again, what they're saying, Monday 2 p.m., 50 mile per hour tropical storm. Now, that means today's Saturday that it's going to set in this area, according to them, stationary. Maybe a little wobble, but not much, which is highly unusual. Highly unusual. Once they get into the upper Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico, they usually will move pretty quickly, especially as they're getting into warmer and warmer water. But again, Tuesday at 2 p.m., 75 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane. And notice these are 12-hour updates, and it skips 24 hours here. So it's well ashore, back down to a 50 mile per hour tropical storm by Wednesday, again, 2 p.m., Thursday, 2 p.m. It's slowing down even more. Look, you can't tell because of the banner here very well, but it looks like it's still ashore here, possibly in North Carolina. But that could bring much needed rain up through this entire area of the southeast coast. But here are the updated spaghetti models. This was at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, so that's been out about 30 minutes or so. But guys, everything is moved back to the left or to the west. And I say it at nearly every video in the hurricanes. We know it's going to change, but all we can do is report what we have at that time. But that's part of the game in this. But you notice the storm's going to kind of wobble around here and will not really move out till Monday. It's just now got into this water good today. So if it's going to sit here in this warm water for 2 more days, you're going to see this thing grow larger and larger. As a matter of fact, when you look at the satellite images now, you'll see that it has increased in size. The only model, and it may not have been updated, that's still bringing it in south above Tampa is the Navy model right there, still showing it moving out into the Atlantic. But the Canadian model now is showing this thing drift up through here, back towards Alabama more, and then back and take a right into Apalachicola. So if you centered the other models, we're back to where we were at last night. And that just tells you something, guys. You can't let your guard down anywhere in this area, from Tampa to Houston, till this thing's over with, because this is how quickly it can change. But I think the main update here is the fact that now it's stationary and it's going to sit there and grow. So we may be looking at more than a Cat 1. Now, while we're here, Hurricane Franklin is right now it is here. You're dealing with 85 mile per hour sustained winds moving north-northwest at 8 miles an hour. And guys, it is a Cat 1 here, Cat 2 after midnight tonight, Cat 3 very quickly. Monday at 2 a.m. a Cat 3, and it shows it maintaining that Cat 3 speed until Tuesday at 2 a.m. And then it's going to bend back over Bermuda, which is right here, and back down to a Cat 2 as it gets into cooler water. And the Cat 1 by Thursday at 2 p.m. as it's pulling out of here. And again, UK, you could see some weather from here. But 85 miles an hour northwest again at 8 miles per hour. And let me say this while we're here also. This is the spaghetti models. And what they're showing in this purple line again is NavGem, the Navy model, right there. CMC is right in the center. But guys, that brings and that's the center of circulation. So as it moves over the top or north of Bermuda, then it's going to, and your island will not be missed as much as it looked like in some of the models where it moved much further to the west towards the Atlantic coast and looping. But if the Navy model holds up here, you're going to get a very good brush of the storm. So keep that in mind. and watch all the updates coming out. We're going to keep it updated to these things get out of here and come ashore. And just looking at it from the National Hurricane Center for a moment, again, it's showing it's stationary, but you've got tropical storm warnings out for the Yucatan and tropical storm warnings in the yellow out for Cuba on the eastern or western tip there. But again, this cone does not represent the size of the storm. They're trying to predict this where it will move as far as the center of circulation. And anywhere between here, which would be your Panama City area, down just south of the Tampa area. So none of you guys let your guard down yet, and watch for more movement in any direction. Latest satellite images over the Gulf of Mexico. Center of rotation is just off the Yucatan Peninsula here. And again, it looks like it's going to sit here for a couple of days, but you can tell the difference in the size of this already from this morning. And all it can do, guys, is grow. Now, it's going to be stripped back some on this, would be the southwestern corner of the storm, simply because it's passing over land. But the majority of the storm is going to remain over water, it looks like here. And again, just sitting there, growing. That's not a good thing. It's better if they come in, move fast. They don't have time to develop into something much stronger. Also, notice that we're experiencing some of the same things along the coast that we were yesterday. The pop-up thunderstorms when there's really not much prediction of rain. Now, we haven't had any here, but we have had some cloud cover that has brought the temperature down. Right now, it is temperature's 99 degrees outside. It is 6:03 p.m. Central, and real feel is 109 right now. But and it had been up a lot higher than that today. We were at 102, 103 is actual temperature, and above 110 plus in the real feel. So the clouds are helping, and maybe some of you guys in these areas, I can see some pop-up storms in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, a few here in Mississippi. A lot of it north of us, northern Arkansas, looks like coming into Tennessee. And then, again, Alabama, you've got a pretty good system there, and throughout sections of Florida and up through the Carolinas. So all of this is sensing the storm. We had wind pick up. We got a front moving in above this at the very top of the screen. And so that may be the main reason why the storm is going to stall out, because that front pushing in. But once these hurricanes get to a certain size, they create their own weather, and they can push things around pretty easily and go where they want to go. But this is a situation now. Let's just take a look at the infrared, and you can see the strongest storms involved with the storm itself are here in this eastern band and in the southwestern band that's over the Yucatan now. But as soon as it gets a little clearance from land, these will start to wrap up. It will be very interesting tonight to watch this thing, and as we pull it up again, you can see we've got a front coming in. It looks like North Arkansas, Tennessee. You may need to pay attention to this weather as well up as in South Carolina along the border with North Carolina right there. Everybody needs some rain, but be careful because you've got hot and cooler air mixing, guys, drier and wetter air, and that's always a good place to have violent thunderstorms and possible tornadoes. But right now, any moisture and any cooler air is very welcome here in southern or central Mississippi. But guys, we're watching this. Watch for updates as we get them that are critical. We'll come in there with them. But just don't take your eyes off this anywhere along the Florida coast, and like I said, all the way over to Houston, Texas. But we're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.